Hi, Ted.
Are we good, Julia?
I was just counting. I think so.
Okay, all right. Oh, we got one more person coming in. All right. Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. This is our first quarterly meeting of the new year, so welcome to everyone. We will start with introductions. I think that we have some new faces on here, so we will start with introductions. I'll try to make it helpful. I can call your name off of the participation list if you want to let everyone know what agency you're with. I apologize ahead of time for butchering any names on there. Sorry, there's just a couple more people joining us. All right, I will start. I am Rochelle Conan. I am the public defender in Kane County. Then Mr. Doyen.
I'm representing the Kane County Bar Association, an attorney in Elgin.
Adam Grubbs.
My name's Adam Grubbs. I'm with the Kane County Office of Community Reinvestment.
Anna.
Hello, sorry. I'm Anna Cerniak. I am the Children's Mental Health Program Manager at the Kane County Health Department.
Ricky.
My name is Ricky Rogers, Executive Director for the African American Men of Unity. We do a rite of passage of leadership development and manhood training program for at-risk youth ages 7 to 24.
And Bernie.
I'm Bernie May. I'm the Executive Director with Family Service Association.
And we have Adam Shower. I probably got that all wrong.
Close enough. It's shower, like take a shower. My name is Adam Shower. I'm the Dean for Adult Education at Waubonsie Community College.
And Josh.
Good afternoon, Josh Axelson. I am the coordinator of alternative programs in the Kane County Regional Office of Education.
Ishmael.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ishmael Cordova, and I'm with Greater Family Health, formerly known as Greater Elgin Family Care Center.
And Eric.
Sorry, I came late. Eric Majewski, St. Charles Police Investigations Commander.
Deb Conforti.
Thank you. It's Debbie Conforti from the Kane County State's Attorney's Office.
And we have Caitlin.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Euler. I'm interning with the Kane County Health Department.
Kristen.
Hi, I'm Kristen Lorsdorfer, representing the Kane County Juvenile Officer Association. I'm with North Aurora Police.
Lark.
Hi, Lark Howard, Kane County State's Attorney, Child Protection Prosecutor.
Martha.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Marta Infante, and I'm the CBAC Project Manager at East Aurora School District 131.
Maureen.
I'm Maureen Gessick with Business and Career Services, Kane County Outreach Coordinator for the MCIP program, which is a manufacturing careers program for youth, young adults, 18 to 24.
Michael.
Good morning, everyone. Michael Isaacson. I'm Assistant Director of Community Health at the Kane County Health Department.
There is, I'm sorry, I don't know if it's male or female, Serrano.
Good morning. This is Rana Serrano, Business Service Representative from Central State Sarah and Aurora Youth.
And Mirna?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Myrna Serrano. I work for Central States here in Aurora. I'm the business service representative.
And Scott
Nice to meet you.
Savage?
Morning, my name is Scott Savage. I'm an assistant principal at Allen Elementary School in East Aurora 131.
Simon?
Hello, everyone. Simon Rodriguez, Youth Services Manager with the City of Aurora.
Suzanne?
Hi, I'm Suzanne Markin, and I'm the Program Manager with the Kane County Office of Community Reinvestment.
Zach?
Hello, Zach Rose, National Youth Advocate Program. I'm the team lead for our Youth Elements program.
Sheriff Payne?
Ron Hain, your Kane County Sheriff.
And then we have a couple of phone numbers. There's a diagnostics iPhone. Okay, how about the 630 number?
Is that 935? Because I think I'm on that too. No, I couldn't get on initially, so no, that's not mine. Sorry.
Good morning. Is it 630-417-4567?
Yes.
Good morning. This is Kimberly Savo. Okay, thank you. This is Kimberly Savo, Executive Director of the Changing Children's World Foundation, providing family programs for parents, youth, children, and related professional development.
Great. I think that I got everyone. Anyone missed? All right, great. Welcome, everyone. We are going to start this afternoon. We have a couple of partner presentations. The first one is Suzanne Markin, who is Program Manager for the Youth Workforce Services Network. Welcome, Suzanne. I will turn it over to you.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I miss seeing you all in person. I know last time we were able to, but read the room. It's not really the best time right now. So I wanted to go ahead and share our program, our workforce services with the network. We've had the fortune to be able to share individualized programs with you over the past several meetings. And I thought it might be helpful to understand a little bit better the umbrella of the grant that is able to provide the funding to the Kane County area. So in her email with the resources, Julia did share our flyer for you, and it's the one that is titled Kane, Kendall, and DeKalb County Young Adult Employment and Educational Services. And the front of that flyer talks about the generalized services we have, which is that we are focused on helping young adults ages 16 through 24, both in and out of school, in helping find their permanent career pathway. And the way that we're able to do this is we focus on a variety of service delivery options where we can provide scholarships up to $10,000 for youth to receive secondary school training vouchers. So they can either go to college or short-term certificate, proprietary school options, the trades, etc. We're looking for industry recognized credentials to make them marketable in their field. The goal of everything that we do is employment. So the other side of this is providing our young adults with opportunities to actually experience and try out, if you will, different careers and industries firsthand. So the way that we do that is that our grant can fund short-term work opportunities within the community. So what we have is a network of contracted service providers, and that's what you'll find on page 2, which is the back of that flyer. So you'll see our 7 service providers do span a 3-county area, Kane, Kendall, and DeKalb, and all of them provide these services in kind of different unique ways. We actually have several of our service providers on the call today. You might actually recall in your last meeting, I think we met in November, Marcus Clark represented, along with Adam actually, the Waubonsie Works program. They are one of our providers. Central State SARE, Business and Career Services, Elgin Community College, all serve the Kane County area. One of the things I'd also like to highlight is that within this program year that we're currently in right now, we've had the fortune to also add several youth element providers. We have two of them on the call as well, National Youth Advocate Program and African American Men of Unity, along with Boys and Girls Club of Dundee Township, serve a very important piece of something. I'll say it this way, it's something we knew that the youth were lacking. As many of you have probably experienced, the current climate of everything being remote, everything being unpredictable has really caused a lot of struggles for our young adults. And so to address what we were seeing in terms of mental health struggles and lack of perhaps steady adult positive role models within their life, we've contracted with these providers to provide adult mentoring and guidance and counseling services via mental health counseling and substance abuse counseling. So this is something that is accessible to all of the youth within our programs. You know, our grant pays as much as we can for every kind of step of the way. We're also trying to reach the ones that are needing our support the most. So just by definition of a barrier, if you will, youth that have any type of interaction with the juvenile or adult justice system are automatically eligible for our program. So are youth that have disabilities, youth that may be homeless or low income, pregnant or parenting, within the foster care system or having exited the foster care system. This is just, you know, again, some of the things that we look at, and we try to build in supports to ensure that we can assist with any barrier that they might have to successfully completing education or employment and reaching their goals. We're there with them every step of the way. Are there any questions from anybody? This is kind of a lot, but one of the things, as I mentioned, is I just wanted to kind of put out there that you know, we have these services available. You know, the number for each individual provider is on the flyer, but my information is on there as well. And then you heard my colleague Adam Grubbs has now joined our staff as well. So, you know, we're trying to do as much we can to get the word out in the community about this, because it really is an underutilized service, I think.
Any questions of Suzanne? Thank you, Suzanne, for presenting to us.
Thank you.
Our next presenter is Martha Infante from Supporting East Aurora Victims of Community Violence. I will turn it over to you, Martha.
All right, thank you. Good morning again. Yes, so our program, East Aurora School District has this program. It had been in the district now, this is our 4th year. And we're being called CVAC. So that's just the initials, Supporting East Aurora Victims of Community Violence. So we are like a bridge between the parents, the school, the students, and the community. So we usually get referrals from social workers or principals, teachers. So who get referred to us are the students who had been exposed to violence. So it can be any students from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. Of course, we only serve East Aurora. So East Aurora School District, so which we have 22 schools. So we cover all the schools. And what we do is we connect them to different services. Some of the services that we have is counseling services. That is the major one. And we not only send the referral, but we make sure the students actually get the services. So the program is me, the project manager, and we have 4 case managers. The 4 case managers are able to go and see the students to all our schools, and they do mentoring for them. While they're doing the mentoring, they try to connect them to counseling. And we also talk to the parents and make sure what is going on at home. We do parent assessment and then a student assessment to evaluate the family situation and see what are in need. We have been creating multiple partners. So we have Mutual Ground, Hesed House, Family Counseling Services, AID, Graceful Therapy, We also have Breaking Free, Sharing Connections, Salvation Army, Family Focus. So we have been keep adding more partners to our program depending the family needs. And the violence that we're talking about is like different kinds. So we're talking about kids who had been exposed to domestic violence, sexual assault, gang violence, drug and alcohol abuse, bullying, burglary, assault, gun violence, and death in relation to any of these situations. And we just kind of make sure the students are able to improve their grades, attendance, behavior with all the different resources provided to them and to the family. So we keep the lines of communication open between the family, the student, the social worker at school, and then just make sure that everybody knows what is needed and trying to see whatever we can do to support the student and make sure the student is able to succeed. We also have been able to receive referrals from other agencies. So I'm talking like probation officers had been able to send referrals to us. DCFS had been able to send referrals to us. And even some of the counseling agencies that they notice that there are students who are going to our district. They talk to the parents and then they get in touch with us. So we make sure the students, get in contact with a case manager for CBAC. So that is what we do.
Great, thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Martha? All right, again, thank you, Martha and Suzanne, for presenting today and giving us all of that information. So we are going to move on with the rest of our meeting then. The first item of business that we have to take care of is a board issue is approval of our minutes. I know that Julia sent those out, our December meeting minutes, to each of the board members. I would just ask if anyone has if any of the board members have any corrections or additions to those minutes. Hearing none, then the minutes will be approved as submitted. And we will move on to the chairman's report. First off, as to financials in December, the JJC spent $1,196.66. That was for personnel and coordinator cell phone. As well, year to date, we have spent $10,550.69. The other issue is that we are still working on trying to secure county board representative for our board. That is an ongoing issue that we are working on. And then moving on to old business and updates on our priorities. The first is youth involvement. I think that we talked about this a little bit at the quarterly meeting before. But the statute for the Juvenile Justice Council does allow for a youth involved representative on our board. And that is something that we have just been discussing for some time. As part of the law enforcement training that just took place, there was part of that training was supposed to be a role play with youth from the community, but because of the change in the training, that portion was eliminated. But there were a few individuals youth who had offered to be a part of that role play, and they sit on the FSA junior board, and they are interested in potentially being a part of our Juvenile Justice Council. So that is something that the board will be discussing and determining if these are individuals that fit the criteria for the statute and could be a part of our board. Any questions on that? As to the law enforcement training, we did have our law enforcement training in December. Unfortunately, as the board is already aware, there was a miscommunication in the dates. And instead of having a 2-day training, it did end up being a 1-day training, but it wasn't, they were able to work it out so that the trainers provided a working lunch for the officers, so they were able to work through lunch and get as much out of the training as possible. There were 16 officers who attended. The overall feedback from the training appears to be positive, but we will be receiving the formalized feedback at a later date. Because of the miscommunication in the dates, the Strategies for Youth has offered to provide additional training and additional licenses for officers who attended to the training, for them to be able to also run the games that were talked about at the training. These games are currently done in person, but they have also offered to transfer it to a virtual format as well. This is something that through Strategies for Youth, that FSA is currently presenting some form of this to the community. So that is something that we will be wanting to talk about and consider as well. But as to the Board of Directors, we are bringing this up now because it is going to be an email vote that you will be receiving as to whether we want to extend our funding that was part of the Strategies for Youth training to this additional training that they are offering to us. Any questions on that?
Can I just make a quick comment from FSA standpoint? We actually have put doing our juvenile justice jeopardy on hold at the moment, just because of the children's mental health crisis, and our staff are busy providing services. So we've actually had to put a hold on it at this moment.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for giving us that information. That certainly may be something that the board needs to take into account as part of our vote. So thank you. There was an email vote between our last meeting and this meeting as to, there was a press release for the Teen Brain press release that Strategies for Youth wanted to put out prior to the training. That email vote did not get enough votes, and so the press release was not put out. And then moving on to restorative practices, there was a training, an in-person training with FSA, had been scheduled in January, that has been postponed to March 31st and April 1st because of the spike in the pandemic and just the overall need to want to do that in person rather than virtual. Any questions about that? I don't know, Bernie, if you had anything else on that.
We took a survey of our staff, and they were like, we'd rather wait than do it virtually. So we're grateful for the flexibility of the trainers and Julia doing all the work scheduling us. Thanks.
And as you will see as I go through this meeting, almost everything is being pushed to remotely now. Things are or is being postponed because of the importance of not wanting to do it remotely, but to have that in-person ability. So the restorative practices training, Julia has been in discussions with parents from the Parents Council in Aurora and Elgin, as well as the Community Organizing and Family Issues. They want to coordinate a training. The parents for those two communities are very energized to get the training, to get trained, and they have actually agreed to do a virtual training as opposed to in person, so that they can get it done sooner rather than later. And they are requesting a 2-day virtual training on Saturday, January 22nd and Saturday, February 5th. Julia is currently reaching out to all of those that we know have completed the training of trainers to see if there is any interest in them being able to help out with this training. So if you are any of those people and would be available for either of those trainings, if you could give, you can certainly reach out to Julia. That is what she is working on right now to be able to get those trainers. Any questions on that? So we talked about last time that we were putting together family court guides, which were pamphlets to put in the courtrooms to better explain the process in both delinquency court and abuse and neglect court. We have the English versions of those completed. We are working now on getting them translated to Spanish. And so once we have that completed, they will be sent out to a vote. And if approved, then we will get them printed and they will be in the courtrooms. Our expungement packet, if anyone has been looking for that on our website, we did take it down because we needed to make some changes based upon some legislative changes to the expungement process. The final version of that is currently being reviewed and we will have it back up on the website as soon as possible. Any questions about any of that? Okay, so moving on to racial and ethnic disparities. Our council's RED team met last week and I have an update from them. They provided updates regarding the annual data collection that has been done in the past and submitted to the commission. Through the Illinois Juvenile Justice Council's RED committee, they are moving to collecting data from statewide systems as opposed to going directly to jurisdictions. So the data that was submitted by King County last year will be given back to the Juvenile Justice to our Juvenile Justice Council, hopefully in the spring. And hopefully we'll have that information by our RED committee's next meeting in March. And their plan is to look at this data once it is returned and to go from there, because it will be the most up-to-date data that we have. They also discussed some of the issues with arrest data collection. Per the responses from the request for data with the law enforcement training. And the team will continue to discuss this in subsequent meetings, as well as discuss strategies to explore considerations related to RED at the different decision points throughout the juvenile justice system. They also planned for the SEAC meeting as well, which we will talk about shortly here. And so that is the update from our RED team. And then as to our domestic battery work group, they met in December. There are 3 responses that are being considered to initially working on impacting this issue. The first is the state is going to be rolling out a standardized screening instrument. I'm sorry, when I say the state's attorney, standardized screening instrument for detention, which may impact the ability to use detention in response to domestic cases. The second thing that they looked at was the legislative changes to the domestic violence abuse statute and considering a diversion program such as Step Up and utilizing the adolescent domestic battery typology tool to assess for the type of violence. So Julia has met with King County, Washington. They already have a Step Up program, and she has gathered information from them and is in the process of setting up a meeting with DuPage County, because DuPage County also is running a Step Up program. So we can learn how the referral process works from a probation perspective. And so we're going to have, the committee is going to have that meeting with DuPage and go over the information that Julia has found from King County. So any questions on any of that? And so in other meetings than this meeting, we've talked about the statewide committee for RED through the commission. And they have, just so everyone is aware, they have created a name change. They are now the Illinois Racial Justice and Equity Committee. They are trying to move away from the RED acronym and be more representative of the work being done. And Julia actually has stepped up into a co-chair role for this committee. So we have a voice there as well. All right. And moving on to the SEAC speaker request. So the Student Equity Advisory Council, which is from West Aurora High School, we have been working with them a little bit. As mentioned at our last quarterly meeting, they had a student present to the board of directors. And then after that, they had made a request for members of the board or members of the juvenile justice community to present to them. And so it's going to be a 2-day presentation. The first day will focus on the juvenile justice system process in Kane County. And the second day will focus on issues pertaining to RED in Kane County and what is being done to address them. We originally had dates set in January for this, but it was a consensus of the board that we would like to do this in person rather than doing it virtually. As I'm sure many of the educators on here know, it is very, we understand that keeping attention of teenagers is hard in person and even harder on Zoom. So we, and I'm seeing some educators nod their heads. So we elected to try to do that in person rather than on Zoom. So our dates have been right now pushed out to February. So hopefully we will all be in a better state at that time and can do this presentation in February. Any questions on that? Okay, so the next is the JJC restructure. So Julia had sent out a survey to all of our members and at the beginning of the fiscal year. And as a result of those survey responses, we have made a restructure proposal that has been submitted to the board and approved by the board of directors. It includes, in short, an interagency agreement to be completed annually with members to formalize relationships and help us have the ability to better serve the members of our board and of our team here. And so what we're working on now is drafting the agreement, and then we will be sending out an invitation to all of our members to be a part of this new restructure. So just kind of a heads up right now of what we're working on, and we are working on drafting that, and then we'll get it out to everyone. Any questions on that? Okay, so JJC site visits. Each year there is an annual site visit as part of our JJC grant requirements. And this year they are going to do those virtually for established councils. And so we are included as an established council. And so we will have a virtual visit with them. It is a 2-hour window where everyone will meet together, and the discussion will center around the program and policy implementation, as well as how we are addressing racial and ethnic disparities. And it also, they ask us to identify any challenging issue and to talk about that. Our site visit has been scheduled for Monday, January 24th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Certainly it would be helpful for us to have some representatives from the community. Our board of directors all participate in this, but it would be great if we had some of our community members participate as well. If you are able to do this on that day, if you would reach out to Julia and then she can get you the Zoom link for that. But we would, if anyone is available, we'd very much appreciate your participation as well. And then finally, for old business, we have the wake up call. And we talked about this at our last quarterly meeting. Unfortunately, it is another January event that we are going to postpone in order to prioritize it as to in person. They offer a virtual event, but we kind of feel like the effect of it and the message of it is better done in person. And so we are going to try to do that at the beginning of March. And so March 3rd is the tentative date for that, but we are waiting to confirm with the location. Any questions about that? Okay, we can move on to new business, and only one item for new business. The fiscal year 2023 grant planning. The application, our grant application is going to be coming out in the next couple of months. And Julia in the past is the one that is responsible for putting together that grant application. If anyone would like to help her with that or would like more information as to how that process goes, please reach out to Julia and talk to her about that. I am sure that she would like the help and any input that anyone has into that. Any questions on that? Okay, so then the next is the legislative updates, which Julia sent out to everyone. If anyone did not receive those, please reach out to Julia. She can send you a new copy or make sure that you receive those. And then finally, I'd like to open it up if anyone has any other updates from your organizations that you would like to present to all of us. I know this uptick in COVID has kind of hurt us all as to the ability to do things, but if anyone has anything that they want to share, we can please do so.
Hi, this is Anna from the Kane County Health Department. So we're hosting a training. It's kind of geared towards mental health professionals, but really anyone in the community who's interested. It is going to be put on by Court Services. So Lisa Osta is going to be doing it. And the content is really going to be around working with clients who are involved in the juvenile justice system. So she's going to provide an overview of working with clients who are involved in the adult system and the juvenile system, and just ways mental health professionals can kind of help their clients as they're going through these different systems. So that'll be on February 4th. And I can send Julia the flyer if she wants to pass it around to everybody. It's February 4th. I think it's from 10 to 11. Sorry, let me just double check real quick. Let's see. Yes, we have it from 10 to 11. So, or 10:30 to 11:30. So I'll send the flyer. It's got the time on it. I apologize. I don't have it pulled up right in front of me, but I will pass that along to everybody.
Great. Thank you, Anna. Anyone else? Okay.
Hi, everyone. This is Ishmael from Greater Family Health. Like everyone was talking about, obviously, we see an uptick of COVID-19 cases. And I just want to reiterate that Greater Family Health has over 9 locations that can provide vaccinations and boosters and ongoing testing for anyone that needs it, including any of your clients or patients. Most importantly, starting today, we are actually offering at-home testing kits to be picked up at our health centers. You do not need to be a patient with Greater Family Health. You can just be a regular community member. Even yourselves can come to our health center and pick up a box. It contains two at-home testing kits for individuals that may be exposed or may want to just test before they meet with their families in any scenario. So we're actually going to post it on our social media, and I'll forward over the flyer to whoever is the appropriate contact. I apologize, Lorena Nunez, my boss, is normally the one that comes to these meetings, so I'll make sure she does that. But it will be on our social media and which health centers you can go to pick those up, and any additional information regarding that as well. And that's all. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. Are there any services available on Sundays for COVID testing?
We are actually not open on Sundays at all, but we can connect you with a community resource near you that may be open on that day.
All right, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Mhm.
Anyone else?
Hello, this is Kim with Changing Children's World Foundation. And just to share, we do have a coach training workshop coming up for our Best Start All About Youth program. And it's a program that can be provided to youth from 11 years up, and it can be done in a school setting, after school setting, community setting. And so the program is Best Start All About Youth, and the training will be half a day on January 28th and half a day on February 4th. And we have flyers. Rochelle, if we could share the flyers with you and Julia to share with everyone after this meeting.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So we'll plan to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, our next quarterly meeting is April 14th. That will be start at 11:30. It will be virtual. And then our next Board of Directors meeting is February 10th. If we do not have anything else, I would just ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. And so then we are adjourned. Thank you everyone for attending and have a good day.
Thank you.
Rochelle, sorry I was late. I got caught up in.
No, it's okay. And I got you. I was like, oh, because I knew I'm like, oh, Latanya and Lisa aren't here. And then I got you coming in. So it's fine. I've got you written down. So you'll be on the.
Yeah, you guys didn't need anything for a quorum anyway, right? It was no voting.
No, but we had a quorum before you got on anyway. So we were good. We had the sheriff today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Sorry.
No worries. Thank you though.
I always feel bad. Have a good one.
Thanks. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.